You know, I went into this expecting a kooky, scary version of Passengers. What I got was utter crap with influencer-level neon filters.
Unusual life form detected.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't necessarily what I was thinking of when I said Eiza Gonzalez deserves a chance to break out into leading roles. Also, this is the kind of film that made me go, oh, I'm not actually sure she's that good an actor. And then Aaron Paul, yeah, glad to see him getting some screen time. He deserved better than he got after Breaking Bad. This is so much worse than anything I could have imagined for him, though. Ash stars Eiza Gonzalez, who wakes up on her spaceship, which has crashed, her crew has been butchered, and she doesn't remember almost any of what happened. Aaron Paul shows up as the orbital monitor who she sent a distress call to, apparently, and together they try to work out what happened while she slowly regains her memories, all while drenched, absolutely drenched, in every single neon filter that an editor can get their hands on. I don't know Flying Lotus very well. I don't know his music or anything, but when the name, came up, when it said a Flying Lotus production, I was like, is that a company or what? Like, no, it's a guy. It's a music person. And that helps explain at least why this looks so much like a music video. I don't say that in a particularly positive or negative light. It had some really nice shots and had a great soundtrack. But I did, like, so when I saw the outside of the planet they were on, I kept, like, hearing, "Will you meet me halfway?" in my head. Which, also not a negative thing necessarily. But it just, it's just a film that describes itself as trippy. It's a film that's excited about the idea of being really trippy, a real trip. I think 90% of the time the films which describe themselves as trippy are stupid. A film that wants to be a trippy sci-fi mystery thriller horror needs a good script, yeah. I mean, like, the majority of the film is just these two people talking, interspersed with a couple of jump scares here and there. And there was a moment, it was still fairly early on, it was like 25 minutes through, where there is a scene where the script goes, "You cool? Yeah, I'm cool. You don't seem cool." And that was the moment I realized that this film was probably not going to be cool. It's just convoluted, like insanely trippy, psychedelic, psychological, convoluted plot. And yet somehow it's still the most basic, predictable sci-fi film I've seen in ages. It really felt like I could define this film by saying, "Holy long walk for a short drink of water, Batman," because it took the most roundabout way to having the most simplified, basic-ass sci-fi plot that I've seen in years imaginable. It's very upsetting because I feel like I do like both these actors. I'm a little less sure of that now about Eiza Gonzalez because honestly, like 80% of this film is just her staring at something and then going, it's very frustrating because I felt like I saw the main twist coming from miles away. It is, when I say it's the bread and butter of sci-fi horror, I mean, like, it couldn't have been more basic, this plot, if they had literally included a face hugger. It's just, they basically do, like, but it's fine. It's just very frustrating because I feel like there was maybe something here and Flying Lotus seemed to have some nice ideas. I really did appreciate the soundtrack. I did appreciate quite a few of the shots and bits of cinematography here. Thought it was quite good. But the editing is frustrating because most of the jump scares are just like Eiza Gonzalez's memories, like seeing like a flash of something and being like, "Oh yeah." Like there's almost never anything actually scary happening to her over the runtime of the film. It's just things she's remembering. And that's annoying. And I feel like the fact that most of the third act of the film is just showing what actually happened then when she kind of regains her memories more is just lazy writing. I feel like that should have come back a bit earlier. I feel like her remembering stuff is literally all that this film had. Very annoying. Eiza Gonzalez, yeah, I don't actually feel like she was that strong a lead here. I didn't love Aaron Paul in it either. I was looking forward genuinely to seeing both of them in this film, even if I kind of thought it was going to be a weird combination. It was. There was no anything between them. I mean, there wasn't meant to be a romantic angle at any point, but there was no chemistry of like any sort between them. It just felt like they'd been randomly thrown together, and I guess they were. Yeah, there are some nice shots usually when there's no speaking going on, but yeah, my biggest problem is definitely the script here. I feel like it was both of the kinds of, like, it was bad and basic, but it was also absolute nonsense that you could barely comprehend. Like, It achieved mediocrity through backflips, honestly. I'm pretty sure this was secretly adapted from a PS2 horror game. 2 stars. Like, these dudes seem to have so much fun with designing the planetary background and all those shots. And then they spent 90% of the film in the spaceship. I just feel like there was a way around that somehow, you know? That's probably what depressed them into slapping neon filters on everything.